So we have this stabbing in Pennsylvania. The student, 16-year-old, went through the corridor stabbing. That's crazy. Over 20 people were wounded. I'm not sure if anybody died, and he is being charged as an adult, and so on. People are perplexed. I think it's a family of four, parents and two boys, and the parents are good people, and so on. And they're traumatized and shocked by this behavior. It wasn't predictable, and a variety of other things. But I'm not sure if people understand what's going on here. Um, I saw where some top scholars and big people making some big money in the country were introducing the kids to the world on Halloween and dressing like Halloween ghouls and whatever. Some way, somehow, the enemy, Satan himself, was able to disguise one of his chief introduction to the world of the occult and evil by candy and trick and treat, and it's so innocent and so nice. But if these folks who are kind of educated were to follow this thing through and read into it, and they'll see that it's from the occult, it's voodoo. And if they look at Mexico, they will see that it's not only candy, but it's also feeding the spirits, putting out food for them, and a whole bunch of other things. It's a whole many days, I understand. They call it the Night of the Dead, in which they believe something comes out to the grave and walking around. See what I'm saying? So, in my view, this is the beginning of the thing. And then after the parents did that to the child, and the child feels that my parents introduced me to this, it must be okay. And every year we're looking forward to it, and so on. And so they go into magic, Ouija board, selfie in the private stuff, have no respect for the private information, and so on. Ouija board, magic, astrology, voodoo, like Africa and India, and yoga and all that stuff. They go into all these various things. And what is strange about this is this. I met a woman in Canada. She said that, oh, my son, he's such a nice guy. Everybody would like to meet him, but he's a Satanist. Now, so she feels that because you're a Satanist, traditionally you should go in with a axe and try, or a chainsaw, and try to kill a whole bunch of people in the street. But that's not his role. His role is just to be nice. It doesn't mean that Satan's going to treat them special, because eventually, when these people get tied into all this Satanism, he's also killed them in a bizarre way. They either commit suicide, and they say, "You're such a nice guy. How he committed suicide?" Well, Satan don't recruit you to make you retire and live old and happy and then go to heaven. No, he's recruiting you to suffer in hell with him, and to go through in sort of anti-God and opposing God and fighting God. That's why he recruits folks. And so people have different strokes. Satan has different strokes for different folks. Some going to shoot up the place, some going to commit suicide, some going to selfie, some going to say things about others to get them crying and all that, rob the bank, push drugs, use drugs, drive fast on the highway and cause people to spin out. If they stop in the road and you just blow your horn to come and shoot you up. Just all the evil. Different people have different strokes. And what is unique about this is that when some of these people say, okay, he's a big druggo, and oh, he's going to go through this whatever steps, and he's going to stop doing all his drugs, and everybody say, oh, that's so nice. But all he's doing is changing drugs to something else. He might be a guy that likes pornography, and he maybe like children porn, and he has in the mind you'd like to have an 8-year-old, lover. Or he might be instead of using, no, he's just pushing it. See, I wean it. I don't use it no more, but it's nice. And let me help people who are addicted to be able to still perform, so I'll give them some. Or you might try fraud or robbing the bank. A variety of things they do. And so this young man here who killed these folks in the school, stopped the folks. I'm sure he intended to kill them. But as life would have it, I haven't heard of anybody dying as yet. Maybe people died, I don't know. And so some folks are surprised, but as long as he isn't a person that lives for God and works for God, you could expect anything. You could commit suicide, you could take a gun and shoot up the place, a variety of things. When the parents go out, take the furniture and sell it just to get some smokes. Or, and they go out bringing a whole bunch have an orgy there. Bring in the friends and have party, them girls, somebody get raped, somebody drink young and go on and run up the road and get an accident with the car and so on. So the sweat is this. You have to present your children to the Lord and ask Him to watch out for them. And do your best, because you don't know everything. You don't know what are the ends of anything that starts. You start this with a child, you don't know where it will go. So start good things, start good conversations, start them off with serving the Lord, because He says that when a child is trained up in the way he should go, when he's old, he will not depart. So, okay, these people that pushing drugs, shooting up the school, stabbing others, and all these kinds of different things they're doing, is it that they were trained up because they haven't departed and this is it, the end? Maybe, because it starts so innocent. As I said, people start off the kids with Halloween, and as long as you do that, there was I was teaching at the school, and this young man, this young boy, I think it was the first grade, they warned me to say this guy here, he kick a female teacher straight in her vagina. I said, oops. I said, well, I'm sure he's gonna kick me, period. So I go into class now. I seen him. They say that I better don't go into details because somebody could be following up and could have some problems. I don't want to discuss school business like that. So they could be identified. So I'm operating the class, and I miss this guy. Where is he? Guess where he's at? He's hiding on the desk as if there's a Russian threat. Now get under the desk. So I figure what's happening is, oh, by the way, I talked to his mom. I said, your boy is, I don't think anything's wrong with him. I think that, let me ask you a question. I said, do you like Halloween? She said, oh, Halloween is a big thing in the family. We look forward to it. We go big outfit. I said, well, that is the problem. That is the problem. I'll tell you something about this guy. This guy is so brilliant. He's like Harry Potter. Don't mind what you give him, he finishes it in 5 minutes. And the rest of the class, he just disturbing the class. One day he hold his books up in the air and just drop it on the desk. So bam! I was surprised by it because I didn't expect a child to be so disruptive in the class. I smiled. I mean, he does this work real good, and then maybe his mom is thinking that maybe he's going to Harvard or Yale, and perhaps he would. But with this Halloween culture that she has, and he's into other things that you may not know. I don't know, Ouija board maybe. Maybe later on he's going to get into astrology. Perhaps, all the evil he's practicing. Let me use an illustration. Here's this guy, his mom got him through university, and he went to college, he did become a medical doctor. And them boys invite him. They say, man, this weekend we had night fun, bro. He had his wife and everything, kid and whatever and so on. We had so much of fun this weekend, man. We want you to come next week, bro. And he showed up on this party in the place full with smoke. It's cracking, it's marijuana. But he's still going in. And he started liking the party, seeing all them girls in the office that, might to flirt with him or that he sometimes fly through his mind, boy, that would be nice to work out with him. So he keep going now. And then he start using the drugs and start hooking up with them girls, and then eventually get hooked in it so bad that it end up taking his career, his car, his family, his house. He end up dying in the bus shed. You see? So I mean, it's only when a child dies as a real old age you could say, thank you, Lord, my work is done, I did a good job. But as long as you introduce them to Halloween and all that evil, they could be 50. You just got to be hoping that, Lord, I only hope he doesn't do anything bizarre, because I might be doing things but private, or it mightn't be anything heinous yet, but that might be his role. But you could expect anything that could destroy the career, that could end up homeless on the side of the road, they could end up destroying a family, the woman, everybody gone on drugs and end up destroying and lost forever. They're separated, but she's already damaged, the kids are damaged, all that. Parents get heart attack and all kind of health problems seeing how the son is behaving so bizarre. Some might shoot up the place, rob the bank, So you never know where your child is going to go. So when in the beginning, don't hand them over to Halloween. Don't, you got to be watching them. You got to go to the rooms. I recall in Florida, this guy, his mom told me, I said, this Harry Potter book is voodoo and all that. She said, oh no, she said, don't touch that book at all. She said, my son doesn't like to read at all, but see that book? He sat down and read the book straight without putting it down. Well, I could understand it. It's evil. He's evil. Satan makes sure that he does it. But Satan will make sure he does his school work. So that compulsion that Satan put in him, so that she thinks that because he read the book and he doesn't like reading, that was so good, and she might want him to continue reading all of the Harry Potter series, and then he start researching the other more evil. What do you think will happen? Okay, I don't know why well, of course, I know Satan was trying to tie him up and make maybe to make her feel that Harry Potter book is such a good book. It could absorb his attention so much and make him finish it, and doesn't have a lot of pictures. I never read it, so I don't know. Some versions might not have, you know. So be careful with your kids. This guy in Pennsylvania, a long story to say that his motive could have been just that Satan wants him to create some trauma for people, and he's finished. I don't know how he's gonna come by again. I mean, in these school murders as a followed or similar disturbances, one guy went back to school and became a professor. He did a doctorate in mathematics. Many of them stayed in juvenile hall until they're 20 and then they got out. Others got life in prison. One guy got executed. Many of them commit suicide. So, what is his motive? It's just that he's evil, and Satan, give him that compulsion to do something that Satan wants. So sometimes he might not have an objective, but it's just he wants to please his master Satan, and that is his role. Create some drama in school. Others gonna do say push drugs. Others gonna have girls pimping on the street. Some gonna be using drugs. Others gonna be doing the porn. Others gonna do a selfie of themselves and put it on the internet, whatever. They're gonna be talking the private business on the internet. A variety of things they do. So be careful with your kids. And a motive is not important. He's done.